Hello everyone, Pallytub here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are going to be playing as Gazlowe. Not my cup of tea. I've given him a fair try before. I feel like Gazlowe's one of those characters that people either fall in love with, or he's just kind of meh. You know, you don't really hate him. You either love him, or he's middle of the road. For me, he's middle of the road. I will be talking about his history briefly, but mostly we're going to try to focus on not getting our asses kicked in today's video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Tomb of the Spider Queen, the friendly team Anubarak, Tyrande, Azmodan, Gazlowe, and Artanis, the enemy team Abathur, Artanis, Tassadar, Kerrigan, and Sergeant Hammer. I find Sergeant Hammer to be pretty difficult to play Gazlowe against, but we're going to try to make the best out of it. At level 1, we are going to increase the scrap cooldown reduction that our passive gives us. Our passive is called Salvager. Whenever we find scrap on the ground, we can pick it up, and it'll... What does it do normally? Restores 30 mana and causes his abilities to cool down twice as fast for 3 seconds. Oh, so we increased the cooldown to 3 times as fast. Okay. I was like, well, wait a minute, what does scrap even do? Why do I need the upgrade? I'm good at this game. Our Q ability is the rocket turret. We're going to be able to lay these down. They have a Sergeant Hammer radius, and they'll shoot anything that goes in that radius. My main complaint about Gazlowe is that you can't tell these turrets to actually shoot at anything. They just kind of do whatever they want. The first Kerrigan combo of the game was Whiff. That makes me feel good about our chances. Boom! We'll just laser in the face. She should be within range of our turrets. Actually, a fantastic stun from Tyrande. I'm feeling good about this game. We're just going to keep moving our turrets up. With the cooldown reduction, we should just be able to put them wherever we want. And then when a turret does fall, we are going to... Do you think she went to here? No. When a turret does fall, we just need to pick up the scrap. And then that'll lower our cooldown so we can lay down another turret. And we just keep this going for as long as we can. We want to have lane dominance up here in the top lane. We do need to be pretty mindful of where the enemy team is at all times when you're playing Gazlowe, but the enemy team has a Sergeant Hammer, so the odds of us being in danger are not that high. We are going to put, and they have an Abathur as well, so I mean, they're not going to be roaming around basically, so we can take up some pretty aggressive positioning. We could do some things we normally wouldn't do, and we shouldn't be punished for it too much. We shouldn't be. I'll make that very clear. And then our W ability is called the Death Laser. Death as in death clock, not death as in dying. We are going to be dropping that periodically. Essentially, it starts out with a pretty mediocre range and mediocre damage, and then the longer you sit there and charge the ability, the longer it hits. Or, excuse me, the harder it hits. Which is pretty cool. There's not very many other abilities in the game like that, if any. Well, I guess you could say that Azmodan's Red Spaghetti kind of acts that way with the right talents. But hey, whatever. We're just going to walk right up to Kerrigan and secure the kill with the help of our friendly Tyrande. Our E ability, last but not least, is called the Explodium Charge. That is going to lay down some TNT on the ground. After, I believe, 4 seconds or so, the TNT will explode. At level 4, we are going to be going with enemies can drop scrap. So anything that dies nearby, any minion that dies nearby has the potential to drop scrap that we can use to lower our cooldowns. Essentially, the more turrets we have out on the battlefield, the happier we will be. Let's go ahead and just lay down a ton here. Make Kerrigan deal with them. Typically, your strategy on Gazlowe is just to keep people within range of your turrets so you can do stuff like this and make yourself feel really good about doing stuff like that. There is one other option at this level if you're feeling a little advantageous. I mean, there are some pretty drastically different builds for Gazlowe. Oh, I can't drink yet. But if you were going for a more bully style where you would just be punching people all the time, you could go for Clockwork Steam Fist, which would increase the duration of your turret for every auto attack that you do. Essentially, if you auto-attack enough, if people just leave... Ooh, my positioning's terrible. If people just leave you alone and let you push forever, you can seriously have like 30 turrets on the ground. The odds of that actually happening in a real game, though, are not too common. Kerrigan seems to be having some trouble landing her combos. which is unfortunate for her. Oh no, oh no. Artana's coming in with the damage. We're just gonna lay these turrets down, and as you can see, they pretty much stopped Artana's from chasing us down. Tyrande may actually be able to pick up a kill here. Great stun. Great stun, Tyrande. Tyrande carrying top lane so far. We are going to go with the Engine Gunk at level 7. I feel like this talent's pretty mandatory unless you want to get Sprint later on. I don't necessarily want to get Sprint. So I feel like you have to pick one of the two. Gazlowe does not have very reliable escapes by himself, so having his turret slow people down is pretty damn integral to his survivability. We're going to try not to die. Here we go. We'll just lay some TNT on the ground. Never mind. No, we won't. Wow. We are just punishing this Kerrigan. I hope everyone else is having similar success in their lanes. Anyway, the turret will slow people down. It's a little less reliable than Sprint, though. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Because you cannot control what your turrets attack, you just kind of hope that they attack something that you need to slow down. We're going to charge up the laser, fire it at Kerrigan. Yeah, boom! I didn't mess up the... Well, actually, no, I don't think I did mess up the stun of Tyrande, but she is just playing so aggressively that it doesn't matter. Walking right up to Kerrigan and going to take her down. We're going to just get this tower. We're going to get this fort. This is going to be a pretty gigantic XP lead. And we're going to then turn in our spider butts, I think. But yeah, look how many turrets I have on the ground because of the cooldown reduction from the scrap. I mean, it can really add up quite quickly. And it's very good. Very good. All right, I'm gonna go turn in. Let's lay a turret down here. That'll finish off that tower. We don't even have to do anything. We could turn in our, how many do we have? 17 butts into the basket. Almost dying to Abathur mines there, actually. I wonder if he's going for a mine build. Definitely knows we're here. I'm not going for a mine build. Okay. And with these spider butts in the basket, that will be enough to start the first wave of spiders coming out for our team. Keep in mind that these spiders spawn where the lane is pushed. So because we pushed up so far in the top lane, that's going to be pretty damn good for us. That'll get a lot of work done on the secondary structures. But with Sergeant Hammer coming up top, that's pretty much my sign to leave. Sergeant Hammer can outrange us in every way imaginable. So we don't want anything to do with her. We want to just avoid her, if at all possible. We will be going into team fights with the Gravitron Bomb. That's our level 10 heroic that we picked up. Great for team fights. And one of the reasons that I don't think he wanted to do that. And one of the reasons that Gazlowe used to be so damn popular. The enemy Artana switching places with me, allowing me to just, like, control everything that he did. And now Kerrigan walking into the central hub of all of the Gazlowe turrets. She is just going to be melted down. Nothing she could do about that. Uh-oh, the Artana's laser coming out! Oh, man, I thought I was going to be able to make some magic happen there, but I pressed the wrong button. I do that so much on Gazlowe. I feel like I don't have that trouble with any other character in the game, but on Gazlowe, for some reason, I always think that his TNT, his Explodium charge, I always think it's on his W key, which it's not. We're going to come help our Artanas down here in the bottom lane, trying to do as much siege damage as we physically can. We want everything to be pushing against the enemy team as often as we can get it pushing against the enemy team. And whenever they come in to try to confront us, whenever they come in to try to stop us, you know what we're going to do? We're going to lay down a turret and then laugh at them as they can't move away from anything. I feel a wombo combo coming on here. I just need a couple more seconds to set up for it. If we can get Artanas to move in here. Okay, here we go. It's going down right here. The Gravitron Bomb will hit 2 members of the enemy team, forcing Sergeant Hammer out of the top. Of course, we could have continued to chase Sergeant Hammer there, but there's really no reason to. Now the friendly team, because we have been pushing lanes so effectively and had a phenomenal run with those spiders, we are now 3 levels ahead of the enemy team. We're about to hit our level 13 talent tier, and they don't even have the heroic abilities yet, so it'd be pretty hard to mess this one up for us. One of the things that Gazlowe is so damn good at is going to these locations and clearing these camps out, essentially jungling. And I am taking this over as the friendly team gets another set of spiders. I want to stress that I didn't warm up for this. This was going to be a one and done because, you know, warming up doesn't necessarily increase my Gazlowe play at all, considering it's not a character that I play on a regular basis. One thing I would recommend you do if you are playing Gazlowe is recycle your turrets with your trait whenever you're planning on leaving an area. We are going to get turret storage. This is going to increase the maximum charges of our turrets from 2 to 3. Just allows us to get a few more of those out on the battlefield. Now, we do have enough cooldown reduction to be able to use our ultimate again. Unfortunately, walking through some Abathur mines there. That does suck. The enemy team starting to group up a little bit, though. Could we do a wombo combo? Yes, we can. Catching Artanis in the middle of his dash with his Q, and we are going to pick up the kill with the Death Clock Laser. What do you know? The enemy team pushing in here really aggressively, so much so that our Nubarak was on the other side of the wall, burrowing in to secure a kill. We have the Abathur copy of Sergeant Hammer trying to deter us from pushing in here, but with 3 members of the enemy team dead, we are going to have full reign over whatever we want here. This could actually... I don't think we could win the game right here, but we could definitely secure the win right here by picking up one more of these keeps. I'm going to head over here. The turrets do prioritize, the enemy structures do prioritize your turrets before you. So if you ever need to buy yourself a second under a tower, you can just lay down one of these bad boys, and they'll start to soak up a little bit of damage. Once again, with Sergeant Amber coming in, she's just going to be able to kill my turrets, so I'm just going to leave. I don't see much of a reason to stay. No, that was a bad idea. Don't do that. I was going to take that mercenary camp, but it wasn't the best idea. So one of the reasons that Gazlowe used to be so strong is because of his wombo combo potential. We talked very recently about why ETC was so good in the previous iteration of the game. It's because he could crowd control an entire team with Mosh Pit and had, a ton of movement speed and a ton of damage from the Echo Pedal that would allow him to basically trade with anyone whenever he wanted to. So there was a ton of ETC play going on in the game. We also saw Zagara come into the game, and wombo combos became a thing again, kind of focused around the maul. You maul several people on the enemy team, then you wait for the maul to end, and then you wombo combo. And for a while, we also saw the same thing with Zeratul Void Prisons, using the Void Prison to just set up these monstrous plays whiffed against the enemy team. That kind of playstyle kind of fell off once... I've been thinking about my talent here for a while. I apologize. We're going to go with increased range. That kind of playstyle kind of fell off when the mages started to get introduced. When Kael'thas and Jaina can just blow anyone up at any time they feel like it, you don't really need to have these premeditated engagements against the enemy team where you're waiting and waiting and waiting for cooldowns to become available. Gazlowe still is the king of wombo combos. If we do actually make it to level 20, which at this point it doesn't look like we're going to, you could just see how strong the upgrade to Gravitron Bomb can be. I mean, it'll take up the majority of your screen, and you pull everyone into a central point at which your team can then just take advantage of. Again, Mosh Pit used to be incredibly prevalent with Gazlowe. ETC would wait until the Gravitron Bomb lands, catching several members of the enemy team, and then go in and Mosh Pit, keeping them there for several seconds longer. It was incredibly strong. Just incredibly strong. We are overextending a little bit here, so I'm just going to throw a turret down and then disengage. There's no mercenary camps that I can pick up, so I'm just going to rejoin the team and start pushing. Our Tyrande was pretty pivotal to us winning that laning phase and getting that early turret. Unfortunately, the enemy team didn't really react to it the way they should have. I think sending Sergeant Hammer up to the top lane and keeping Abathur there to babysit as well would have made quite a big difference. Whoa, we need to leave this. Yep, don't mind me. Just run up through the turrets. Just run up through the turrets. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll make it out. It'll be okay. In fact, if we stay in this much longer, I can wombo. We're going to have to just to stay alive, I think. The enemy team did, unfortunately, dodge the majority of it. But are we going to be able to get away from this? I think we are. Please, turret, hit Kerrigan. Please, turret. Turret, I need you to hit Kerrigan. It didn't hit her, but she stopped chasing. And we're actually going to live through that engagement, which just blows my mind, actually. Tyrande is located at the enemy's base right now, trying to do a little bit of damage to them. Looks like Kerrigan was able to turn in her large number of spider butts. And we're going to get some synergy between our talents here. Never mind, we're not. I was going to throw my turret down, slow down Kerrigan, and allow the Purifier Beam of Artanis to just take her down. But that didn't quite happen. The enemy team does have spiders pushing in every lane right now, but I think this is something we're going to be able to deal with pretty easily. I'll just make my way down here, lay down a bomb and a turret or two, and we'll deal with this no problem. We'll deal with this no problem. So yeah, this is pretty much my go-to Gazlowe build when I do play him. I don't play him a ton. I mean, I have him at about level 8, but that's level 8 over the course of a year. So keep that in mind. I do think that Gazlowe has some of the best skins in the entire game for sure. The Funhouse or Fun Top or Big Top Gazlowe or whatever it's called is just terrifying. Kerrigan yet again missing another one of her combos. I do believe at the time of this recording it is Free Kerrigan week, and we're starting to see some of the effects of that right now. Azmodan does have the enemy team's Purifier Beam on top of his face, and Tyrande just walking into it like she doesn't have a care in the world. Can we wombo? Can we combo? I don't think we need to. Sergeant Hammer coming out from the Abathur copy. I'm just going to grab these and be on my way, if you don't mind. We may actually have to wombo this guy to stay alive. I mean, if you have to do it, you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just a cooldown. It's just a cooldown. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to grab these and then go turn in. Because I have a ton of butts. I'm an ass man right now. I got a ton of butts all over me. Our momentum kind of... It feels like it's falling apart, but we still do have a pretty commanding lead. Iron wants to turn in. Looks like he just fell. Oh, that's a lot of butts on the ground. Do I dare? I think they're going to be gone by the time I get there. If our Anubarak would just hand in, we'd be fine. Again, I don't really know why we're trying to trade with an Abathur Sergeant Hammer combo. Turn in. I'm just going to lay some turrets down in the middle, allow our Anubarak to get away a little bit easier. Make sure they're not covering too much of the same area. So if anyone from the enemy team wants to chase us, they have to walk through these. And we should be okay. Hopefully he turns in. Please turn in. And that's going to help us push. The only remaining structure for the enemy team is about to fall up in the top lane if they can't defend it. It has very, very low health remaining. I do have a fun fact about Gazlowe. His voice actor is currently, I think currently actually, no spoilers. No spoilers. The, oh fuck, what is it called? Critical Role, the Geek and Sundry Dungeons and Dragons series. He plays the Barbarian or Goliath or something on there. Grom, I think his name's Grom. Oh my god, I'm looking like a complete noob. I haven't watched it in weeks. I like found out about this series that Geek and Sundry's doing where they play like, oh, is this our first death? I think it is. Nope, we're good. Thanks to the heal of Tyrande, where they play Dungeons and Dragons. They get a ton of voice actors from the industry. They sit down at a table and play Dungeons and Dragons. I've seen 3 episodes or so, and I fucking love it. The only problem is they're like 3 hours long. So I'm a pretty busy guy. It's hard for me to keep up with those. But I've been really enjoying what I've seen. It's just been a couple weeks since I've been able to watch it, so I look like a super casual right now. But he appears on that. I'm sure if you've seen it before, you know what I'm talking about, even with that terrible description. But he is the voice actor of Gazlowe, and he's also married to Laura Bailey, who is the voice actor for Jaina Proudmoore. That's my fun fact that I always give you guys whenever we play Gazlowe. Here we go. Let's land a wombo combo just to say we did. I pressed my W again thinking it was my E. Can we make anything? Fuck it. I'll just throw it out. I don't care. I don't care. Well, this was a game. Pretty one-sided game, but it was a game. We did a ton of siege damage. We did pretty competitive hero damage with everyone on our team. And, yeah, that's Gazlowe. He is one of those characters that I really do feel like you're either going to love him or hate him. Or love him or think he's mediocre. I don't think too many people actually hate him. But there you go. That is the big man himself. What is his lore? Does it still say that anywhere? Where do we have to go for that? Before we do that, my talents. More cooldown reduction at level 1, and then enemies have a chance to drop scrap. Which, scrap is normally pretty hard to come by, so I think this is a pretty must-have talent these days. Then I got the slow on my turrets. The alternative would be hit multiple targets on your turrets, which obviously does increase your damage quite a bit, but does also put you in harm's way a little bit more as well. Gravitron Bomb, or Gravo Bomb, at 3,000. I didn't know it was model 3,000 at level 10. Great for team play. Increasing our max turrets, increasing the range on our turrets, and then the miniature black hole Gravo Bomb radius increased by 25%, and the damage increased by 50%. You don't really use it for the damage, though. You use it to close everyone in on 1 point. But that's Gazlowe. He honestly hasn't changed too much. I want to say he's been pretty much the same for a long time. You can correct me if I'm wrong. What is his lore? Does it say it in the shop? Does it? Few would consider Gazlowe a fighter, but what he lacks in height, he makes up for in mechanical know-how. Besides, you don't get to be the boss of a boom town like Ratchet with just charming personality, if you know what I mean. I didn't realize he was the head of Ratchet. That's kind of cool. Alright guys, that's it for me today. No, don't go into try mode. Okay, let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. So, Gazlowe is G. Falstad is before him. So it's Falstad, Gazlowe. I can't do this in my head. I don't know who's next. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this game. This is a great outro. Illidan! Hey, what do you know? I just happen to be the best Illidan in the world. See you all next time.